I've been watching a lot of videos that are about everyone's top 2025 reads, so I thought I would add my 2 pence to the conversation. Read quite a lot of 5-star books this year, and I listen to a lot of them on audio, and I do it here a lot of the time, so I thought this would be a good place to film a video to add my review. So yeah, I'm gonna do them in chronological order of when I read them. They probably didn't come out in 2025, I just read them in 2025. Just checking for other dogs. So the first book that I read that I would say is a 5-star read is a poetry collection, which is really unusual for me. I don't read a lot of poetry generally, but yeah, it was a book called Asra Fauna Hereafter. It was a selection of 3 chap books by Samuel Hurley, and I really liked them, thought they were good. Oh god, probably some of my favourite poetry that I've ever read is in there. Sorry, repositioning you. They're sort of nature poems, they're quite post-apocalyptic poems, or apocalyptic, or not quite inspirational, I would say, but like about living your life to the fullest in the face of whatever. And like, if the world does end, I want it to end like this, or that sort of thing. And I love the apocalypse, I love the idea of the apocalypse, so I really liked that one. It was good. Probably my favourite poem I've ever read is in that section, like I said, so I can't remember what it's called though, of course, but I'll probably write it down somewhere for you to see. I can't remember what's next. I wrote them on a little book. Hang on. Yeah, the next 5-star read I would say was a book called Grey Dog. It's by Elliot Gish, and I actually, when I saw this, I thought I had to check. Is Elliot Gish a guy? Because sometimes guys write women really clunkily, but it was done really well. So Grey Dog, I listened to it in January. I listened to it on audio. It was really good. It was about a woman who, without spoiling, a woman who is a teacher. So she's an unmarried woman in the US in like the 1800s. She's a teacher, she's going to a new school, and what that's like for her, why she had to leave her old situation, who she's with, and her sort of mental unravelling, I guess, was really good. I really liked it, and I guess that's why it's a 5-star read. What else have I got? Like I said, there's quite a few. Oh yeah, next. See, I do know them all, I just can't remember the order of them. Next was a book I also listened to on audio called Juice by Tim Winton. And this one was in March, so I had read other things. I read 53 books this year. Yeah, Juice by Tim Winton is about, it's a post-apocalyptic book, which is my favourite genre, I'd say. But it's set in Australia, which is a really good twist on the apocalypse. You don't get apocalyptic Australian setting, so it's like, what do they do with all the heat? How do they conserve energy? How do they get water? How do they grow things? Stuff like that. But it also has a very like whimsical folklore-y edge to it at times as well. So I really enjoyed that too. Really good, really nice writing style. I did listen to it. The narrator, I don't know who the narrator was, but the narrator was really good. And I really enjoyed it. So I'm just going to stop a minute because I need to just check what's around this corner with the dog. I'm back. Just had to get around this big like clegg just to make sure there's no one around here. But now we're alright. There's Reggie! Having a little wee. Nice. So, my next book, we're going to get, look at this, absolute splad. Going to get to this little old road and then we'll be safe. Right, my next book is another post-apocalyptic book. It's called All the Water in the World. It's set in the US It's by Irene Caffall. Irene, E-I-R-E-N, Irene, C-A-F-F-A-L-L, Caffall. Don't know. Sorry if that's you. It's a nice book. I listened to it on audio. It's one of those ones that I think I will buy so I can read it actually slowly. Sorry. So I can read it slowly. And it was post-apocalyptic, but all the sea levels have risen and there's a lot of rain. I read a different one similar to this last year and didn't like it as much at all. This was really good. It was from the perspective of like a little girl and her family and how they're trying to survive in that setting, and you really enjoyed it. The audio was good, like I said. I really like the concept and the like constant wetness. It'd be like my least favourite type of apocalypse, I think. Like if it was going to be apocalyptic, I wouldn't want it to be like a wet apocalypse. That would be really bad for them, yeah. My next one's really funny, and it's not really funny, but so I read Faithbreaker by Hannah Kaner, I think it is, and it's the third in a trilogy, and I read it in April, so it's now December, but I don't think I could tell you what happened in it. Like, I couldn't tell you one thing about what happened in there, so I'm kind of questioning myself why I gave it 5 stars. Maybe like it was a good ending to the whole, I can tell you what happened in the whole trilogy, but I couldn't be like, oh, this happens in this one, that's why this one's so good. So yeah, very like it was a really nice fantasy series. I really like the world. So it's kind of like if you pray to a god, the god becomes real, and the more people who pray to gods, the more powerful they get, and the more offerings they get, the more powerful they get. So they can be gods of all sorts of things. Like they can be like, oh, the god of sewing, or the god of thimbles, or the god of firewood, or something, whatever. And the god's just that. So I really like that concept. But yeah, I couldn't tell you what happened in the third book, unfortunately, but I must have liked it at the time, so it was good for me in the moment, you know. What next? Oh, and I listened to that on audio as well. My next book is another post-apocalyptic book. It's called What Survives. It's by M. Amelia Eakley, E-I-K-L-E, Eakley. And I read it in April. And I went through a big stage where I looked for some more post-apocalyptic books and then like went through them all together. And it was really good. It was really lonely. It was about like a sole survivor. I think there are other survivors, but very, very scarce. Very, very low percentage of people survived the apocalypse. And yeah, she was just walking. She was trying to go home, like to a family home, I guess. And that was really nice. Look at this. Let's have a little sit here. So, was that a woman going to her family home? That was a fail, wasn't it? You stupid boy. Yeah, a woman going to her family home to see if her family were okay, basically. And she just walked really far. There's a dog, of course. Very lonely, very like introspective about what was happening and how she felt, and I really enjoyed that element of it. It was a really weird copy of the book, actually. It's like an Amazon, like it had like an Amazon picture, like not a proper illustration. So I don't know if it's like a really small book that they just self-published, but I really enjoyed it. It was really good. So I'd definitely recommend that if you're a fan of post-apocalyptic literature. The next one, it's in the page. Next, I read a book called Monstrillo by Gerardo Samano Cordova. That was really, really interesting. So it's about a couple whose child dies, and this is like not a spoiler because they tell you this right at the beginning. And a child dies of like a long illness, and the wife like takes a bit of the child and grows like a monster out of it, and then what happens because of that. And it's told through different perspectives, and it was really good. I think this year I've read a lot of literature that's come from South America and Argentinian literature, and it's been really good. I'm seeing where this boy's off to. Raj, come on. Oh look, can you see that? Oh, rainbow. Yeah, and that was a really nice one as well. Like I said, I read that. And then similarly, where is it? Hang on. I've lost my page. Oh, here we go. Not similarly at all. I read The Lamb by Lucy Rose, which was lovely. Cambrian cannibals. Oh, there's 2 dogs over there, so I might just need to chill out a minute. So like cannibals in Cumbria, or a cannibal in Cumbria, and the relationship between a mother and daughter. Really beautiful, like in a really sick, twisted way. What sort of like how your upbringing can change you or define you, or what's normal and what's not because of the way you're brought up. So I really like that. We're back. We're quite close to the road, so I'm sorry if you can hear noise, but we're not so close that this fella is going to do himself a problem. Hey? Good boy. So the next book I read that's a 5-star read is Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman, and I read that in April, I think, or March, somewhere around there. It's really hard to describe. It's like biblical and apocalyptic, but set during the time of the Black Plague and how that was affecting people through France. But you meet a knight, like a disgraced knight meets a little girl, and you're sort of throughout the whole thing thinking, is she a saint or is she a witch? What's she doing? How does she know things? And it's about like their journey together, and they sort of do these trials, just trying to get through the world, really. I'm going down this way. Reg! He's coming. This is like, you're not supposed to be on this bit of road. We're going this way. Oh god. There we go. Such a little scratch there as well. He's good. So it was like really post-apocalyptic, but not. I guess the Black Plague was like an apocalypse in itself, right? If you think about virus apocalypses, so it was like that. It was really good. It was very like biblical. It felt really biblical. I don't think you need to be a Christian to enjoy it, though. It was just a good read. Yeah, it was like disgraced knight, a disgraced priest. Lots of different sort of. I don't know if I want to say like demonic creatures, but kind of has that vibe. And next, oh, banger. Next is a banger. Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer, and I read that in August, so got a bit of a jump here. Oh, between 2000 and July, so it's not that much of a jump. Annihilation was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's the first time I think I've read anything that could be described as cosmic horror. And I bought the next one, which is Authority, I think. So I'm going to read the next one and see what that's like. I thought I would have done that by now, but you know what reading's like. So I haven't done it yet, but I did really enjoy that. I think I really like books that are books where you like questioning the sanity of the protagonist a lot. Like, oh, am I being told something that's real here? How are they feeling? Although I think in Annihilation she questions her own sanity a lot. Like, she's quite analytical about her own sanity, but still, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Next, in September, I read Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin, and I'd never seen the film, so I didn't know the big twist or anything. And yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. It was really good. Getting to know Rosemary, being in her head, and like you being able to see all these things that are happening to her, and you're like, no, in your head you're thinking, it's gonna happen, like what else gonna happen, and you're like really rooting for her, but in a way that you know is really futile anyway, I think. So that was really good. It was really of its time. And I quite like literature that was written around like that time period as well, I think. I'm not sure why. Next is The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. And I did like a mixture of reading that and listening to it on audio. It was actually so good. Like, I feel like it's one of those books where if you know, you know, right? Like, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Like, I didn't know going into it. I know a lot of people had said that it was good. It was rated really highly. It was like in the Goodreads awards. So was The Lamb, actually. Neither of them won the horror section, by the way, which I feel like the Buffalo Hunter should have won, in my opinion. In my opinion, as a secondary school English teacher. It should have won. It was so good. Because I didn't know the twist, or it's not really a twist. It's not like, oh, look what happens at the end. Not like Rosemary's Baby twist. But yeah, I didn't know that it was going to be about that topic. So that's why I'm like skirting around it. I don't want to say, oh, this is what it's about, because I think you have to have that shock yourself. It's like epistolary, so it's told through like diary entries, and sometimes that's great and sometimes it's really annoying, but it was really good here. And I really like the like Native American aspect of it. That was done really well, I think, quite powerful. Said by someone who knows absolutely nothing about the lives of Native American people, because I live in these fields in Lincolnshire. But I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it was great. I'd probably say it was like the top of my year, the tippity top. I've got a little book now. I've put it in the opposite pocket. He's all the way down there. Look, having the time of his life. Right, I had to shout 12,000 times for him to realise that I'm walking this way. Right, what's next on the list? Get it out of my pocket. My cute little list. Well, you might not think it's cute. I know, I think it's cute. Whatever. My face. Okay, here he goes. He's back with us. Next was Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, and I read that was in October. Very short, little tiny slip like this, like a slip of a novel, very good. Set in Ireland at Christmas time, and about some tragedies that happened. I won't go into it too much, but that was really good. I don't think I've read any Claire Keegan. I know she's really popular, so I think probably have to get more into that, because it was very beautiful, I thought. Next was, in October, I listened to the audiobook for Invasion of the Body Snatchers by Jack Finney. I really like this. I really like that sort of like 1950s, 60s sci-fi literature. I love John Wyndham, and I'm not going to say I read all of John Wyndham, because I don't know that for sure, but I've read a lot of John Wyndham and I love them, and I really like this. It really felt like a Wyndham novel a little bit, so I might have to look more into Finney. But basically, people's bodies get stolen and I haven't seen the film either, by the way. It came out in 1955 and the film's in 1956, and I haven't watched it yet, but I think I should, to see what it's like, because I listened to the audiobook and there was a little like interview at the end about the film and how they made the film and how they didn't have a very big budget, and they were trying to do things that were in the book with a very, very small budget, and apparently they did it really successfully, so you should have to have a look at that. But yeah, I really liked that as well, and it was really, walking around this environment felt very, I was listening to it here, it felt very in the right place, like the setting felt right, so that was fun. And I really like the way female characters are in those books, and I know like I probably shouldn't. It's like, oh my god, somebody help me, I'm wearing my white dress in this cornfield, like, but it's of its time, you know. It's fine. Actually, it wasn't too much like that in this one. I'm being really judgmental. It was better than Wyndham in terms of how women are. Oh, I'm getting to the very last one. The very last one, I think, the very last book that I say was 5-star for this year was Under the Eye of the Big Bird by Hiromi Kawakami, translated by Asa Yoneda. And I listened to the audiobook for that in November, sorry, so really recently. And it's kind of, again, it's post-apocalyptic, going back to my roots for the end of the year. Post-apocalyptic, but lots of like interlinking short stories. And you as the reader, you're not quite sure what on earth is going on or why things are happening, or if you're dealing with humans or not. Like, it's really strange. But I really liked it. I don't always like those like books that are lots of short stories that are interconnected. Sometimes it really annoys me. I really liked it with this one though. I actually listened to it on audio, but I've since bought it, a hardback copy even, which I hate reading hardbacks actually because it hurts my hands. But I bought it on hardback because I really like it, and if I love a book I buy it on hardback usually. So I'm going to go through and have like a slow read of it again and just see how I like it. Very strange, very good. And that was it. The only other things I'd say were 5-star that I read this year were I listened to The Fellowship of the Ring and The Two Towers on audio. Again, walking around, it was pretty good. And I'll probably listen to The Return of the King in the start of the year at some point because I just love them. So they're always going to be 5 stars, so that's not like a big shock. But other than that, yeah, that was my reading year. Like I said, I read 53 books this year, which is a little more than average for me. I'm usually in the 40s somewhere, so a few more. But I probably listened to about half on audio, so I think I'd probably average around 30 if I was just reading them and not reading and audio. And sometimes I think the fact that I listen to some of them on audio makes me like them more. Like a lot of the sci-fi books I read, I think I'd get sick of them if I was reading them in actual, book form, but because I'm listening to them, sometimes I don't. So that's something, that's a little data point for you. Anyway, I'm going to finish this walk now. Look at this beautiful day. Oh, that's just me, hang on, look at this. It's very cold though, it's like 4 degrees. I'm going to finish this walk with Rog and then get to go about my life. Got some knitting to do when I get home. Yeah, thanks for coming along, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed ranting. Roger enjoyed listening to me rant, I'm sure. No, you don't give a shit, mate, what I'm doing, to be honest. Right, see ya.